how many classes in a certain school have more than 25 students. So not much information in the prompt. I'm just going to move on to the statement. Statement 1, there are a total of 50 classes in the school. So this should be insufficient because knowing how many classes I have tells me nothing about the distribution of my students. And so this will be insufficient because all 50 of my classes could have 1 million students each, or they could have 1 student each. And those will give you different numbers for how many have more than 25 students. Statement 2, the average number of students per class is 25. So average is equal to, in this case, we're talking about students per class. So it's going to be total students over my number of classrooms. So the easiest way to, if we just want to come up with some examples here, is put 25 students in each classroom. That should definitely give us an average of 25 students per class. So let's say I have 3 classrooms. Remember, I don't know yet that I have 50 classrooms. That was from the first statement. So let's say I have 3 classrooms. And so if I say 25 students are in each of the classes, we always got to remember, well, what is the answer to our question? And so our question is asking how many classrooms have more than 25 students. So our answer here would be 0. So can we come up with an example where this is a non-zero number? And the easiest example I can think of is just add 1 student here, then balance it out by subtracting 1 here. Because, so if we're talking about average, and we're saying we have an average of 25 students per class, in this case we said we have 3 classrooms. Well, saying we have an average of 25 is really the same as just saying we need a total number of 75 students. So as long as we have 75 students in this 3 classroom example, we just need to make sure our sums to 75, and we should have an average of 25. And so in this case, how many of our classrooms have more than 25 students? Well, 1. And so because we get different answers to our question, though, that is still insufficient. So now we can't use these examples where we had 3 classrooms. We have to use our 50 classroom example. And so if we have 50 classrooms, we still have an average of 25 students. That is going to be equal to our total students over 50, because that's going to give us total students per class. So our total students has to sum to what? 50 times 25, which is 1250. But once again, we sort of have the same problem that we had in the first statement. Just knowing that we have 1,250 students total tells us nothing about the distribution of the students. My first 49 classrooms could each have 1 student in them, and the remaining 1,000 plus students are in the final class, or they can be evenly distributed throughout. And so we need to know something about how these students are distributed to answer the question. So statements together don't really tell us anything new. The answer is E.